here. My name is Jess. Today I wanted to film a different type of video. I wanted to film my comic book collection. Now my husband is an avid comic book collector and I just recently started collecting them, but I did want to show you kind of what I have, what is in my collection. I do read a lot of like manga, comic books, but obviously I do prefer to read like big novels, like big books, but I did want to show you the measly little bit that I have and let you know which ones so far I'm liking if you're wanting to delve into comic books, if it is something that you're interested in. A lot of these I actually got in a comic book subscription box that I used to be subscribed to. It was really cool. They sent you a new comic, well, a bunch of new comics every month. It was like the first edition of all of them, and then you can kind of see which ones that you would, you know, enjoy reading. My most favorite comics that I've ever read, which I don't currently have with me because they are my husband's, is the House of M collection, which is a kind of, I don't know if it's like an alternate universe for the X-Men, but it's just such a wonderful series to read. Also, Old Man Logan is definitely my favorite comic book of all time. The new movie that they came out with Logan is kind of like sort of a retelling of that, and if you have not seen that movie, oh my god, if you are a fan of Wolverine, if you are a fan of the X-Men, you need to watch it, because that movie made me cheer, it made me cry, oh my god, like, I was like whooping in the theater, it was so good. But today I wanted to sit down and show you the comic books that I own and which ones I really like, which ones I'm not necessarily a fan of. If you saw my most recent video, I did unhaul some stuff, and I may unhaul some of these comics, but I don't know, I just really wanted to sit down and film like a different type of video today. So I hope you guys are excited for it, and I hope you're having a good week, and let's go ahead and just get started. The first comic book that I have here, G from Book Roast actually talked about, and I did pick it up and I absolutely love it. It is Rat Queens. I have the first volume, volume 1, Sass and Sorcery. I fucking love this comic book. These characters are so funny and so cool and exactly who I want to be. My most favorite character is the little one. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, but I just fucking love this comic, and if you have not read it, you should. It is exactly what it says it is, Sass and Sorcery. Now the next comic I have here I have not gotten to read yet. I have a few of them in here that I haven't gotten to read, but most of them I had, and this is the first one that I haven't gotten to read. It is Harbinger. It is done by Valiant, which my husband says I would really like the Valiant comics, that they're just a comic book company that I would enjoy the comic books from. But this book is about a man named Peter Sanchek, and he breaks out of something called the Harbinger Foundation, and it says the only option that he has left is to run, and he takes off with these two people here to trek across America. It sounds like something I'd really be into because he's like telekinetic and a little bit weird, and I just love stories like that, so I'm excited to read this one. This is one that I'm going to be keeping. I also really love the art of this comic. I love super colorful art in comics. I don't necessarily like black and white comics. They don't really appeal to me, but I am very excited to read this one. I'm gonna set this aside and probably read it for September, but it just sounds really cool. This comic I've also not read, but it will be on my read for October. It is called Faith. It is also by Valiant. This is about a girl who is like a beauty blogger, like a blogger by day, and then she wants to be a superhero by night, and I think it is so cool. Also the representation, she is plus size, and from what I heard, she's really sassy and very funny, and this just sounds like something I definitely want to read. I mean, just look at the back of it. It is about whether or not she can hack it as a superhero, and then whether she can hack it as a solo superhero, and it just sounds really cool. Also, I think the art style is just very beautiful. For me, comic book art style is like the #1 reason why I read books, like why I read any kind of comics, but I absolutely love that she is plus size. I absolutely love that like she has another identity as like a blogger by day. I just think that it is super cool, and that she's a female. I don't know, I just feel like we need more representation, but I'm really excited to read this. I mean, look at the cover. She's just so cute. And this next comic I have is also one that I have not read. I know I have so many of them that I haven't read. I've just been reading so many big books, but this book is called Armor Hunters. It is about a gentleman who goes into space and he comes back with armor from an ancient alien race, and he believes that it will be what he needs to protect like the country and the nation that he lives in. However, the people that he stole the armor from come back to Earth to try to get it back from him. Now the reason I'm really excited to read this is because it reminds me of the books that I recently read by Sylvain Neuvel. If you're familiar with those, I've talked about those before on my channel, but I just think this is going to be a really cool read. I like the art style on this one as well. It is once again very colorful, which as you know is my favorite. But I am really excited to read this one. There's like four different books in this series, and I'll probably be picking those up as well if I like this one. This one just really appeals to me because if you're not familiar, my most favorite movies of all time are the Transformer movies. I know people really hate them, but I, however, absolutely freaking love them. And I'm really excited to read this because for some reason it just reminds me of that, and I don't know why, because obviously they don't have anything in common, but it makes me want to read this one even more. Now let's talk about one of my most favorite comics I have ever read. It is Surface Tension by Jay Gunn. This, I need to pick up the rest of this series because I absolutely fucking loved this. This is about a nation, kind of, well, not a nation, but like a city near the ocean, and things from the ocean kind of come in and take people, like they steal people and then the people are brought back and they're completely different, and it's kind of actually really spoopy, and it says it is a delirious mix of Hayao Miyazaki and The Walking Dead. It is just so good. Now, the art in this one was a little bit missed for me. However, the storyline absolutely made up for it. It is so creepy and so cool. It's about, essentially what happens is once these people are returned, they start kind of worshiping the ocean and this thing out in the ocean, and the people who are not affected by what's happening have to try to figure out kind of what's going on with everyone else in the city. It is very cool. I know I'm not giving like a very good description of it because I don't really want to ruin it for you. You just need to read it. The ending of this comic had me like, what, like I need the next one. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet, but this one was absolutely stunning and definitely one of my like top 10 favorite comics I've ever read. Like I said, this is just my comic book collection, but I have obviously read most of what my husband owns. So this one is probably top 5 of all the comics I've ever read. Now this comic book is kind of like a retelling of the Four Horsemen, but it is super cool. I did read this in like one sitting and I absolutely loved it. It is called The 4 Points. It is about a all-girl team who oddities have already existed in the world, but a lot of strange things start taking place, and this team is sent to kind of halt the oddities from happening, and it is obviously about the Four Horsemen, so once the oddities start really taking off, the Four Horsemen actually show up, and it is kind of spooky but also really cool. The art in this one isn't the best art that I've ever seen, but the characters are so freaking cool. I don't know, I just absolutely loved it. All the girls in this book are badass. I mean, they're not like the Rat Queen's badass, but they're just badass, and I absolutely love this. I'm going to be picking up the other ones because I just need to know how it ends. It was really cool. Alright, I talked about these so much on my channel, I probably don't need to talk about them anymore. I need to get the rest of them because, like I said, I love these so fucking much. I love the movie so much. As my favorite standalone is definitely Big Trouble in Little China. I own the first 5 of the Big Trouble in Little China comic books. It is a little bit different, obviously, from the movies because it is after the movie sort of happens, but it is really cool. It is still all the characters I know and love. I don't know how they did it, but they transferred the characters from the movie into these comics so seamlessly, and I absolutely love them. If, like me, I've seen the movie so many times that you kind of like want more, you want another one, but you can never get that, but I get that from these comics. And if you are a fan of Big Trouble in Little China, I would definitely recommend these because these are my top favorite comics that I've ever read, and not just because I'm nostalgic for the movie. They're very funny. Now this one I don't know anything about because I did just recently pick it up. It is Harbinger Wars. It is about children with special powers, like these children are here with like the yellow eyes, who are completely untrained to their superpowers, and they kind of escape from the facility that they're in, and then this is like a crossover that they did with another series. These two gentlemen and obviously the other adults, as you can see, there she is from that other comic book I showed you earlier, are seeking to train these kids and kind of help them along. Now the facility that they escaped from what I've heard, is not an excellent facility. It is not a good facility, so that's kind of what the story is about. I'm really excited to read this as well because, like I said, I love this character. I wanted to read her comic and see if I like it, and then see kind of like the crossover that they did. All of these sort of came in the same box together, so I'm excited to read all of them all together. I did recently get them, but I'm really excited to read this, and I don't know, it just looks really cool. And I love like superhero children. I think that it's really great to read about that. Alright guys, so that is it. That is my comic book collection. I know I have not read a lot of these because, like I said, I've been reading big series, and I don't know, I kind of wanted to put this video out there as like my motivation to actually read them because I've had a lot of them for a very long time, and some of them I really loved and want to pick up the next ones because I don't want to only limit myself to novels. I do want to start reading more manga, even though I do read a good amount of it, and then I also want to start reading more graphic novels and comic books. If someone can tell me what the hell the difference between a graphic novel and a comic book is, that would be really great because I don't know, I thought I knew the difference, and then I thought there wasn't a difference, and now I just have no idea. So if you can leave in the comments what the difference is, I would be very appreciative. But I hope you guys are having a good week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!